We've split the atom, mapped the genome, and walked on the moon. But some things from our own past still have no explanation. Ancient writing no one can read, machines that shouldn't exist, whole civilizations gone without a word. Here are 8 mysteries we still can't solve. The Sahara is the largest hot desert on Earth, but buried under its sand are the channels of ancient rivers, one of which may have been among the biggest rivers that ever flowed. Because just 6,000 years ago, this was green, grasslands, lakes and flowing water, with herds of animals and people living along the rivers. Then, in what may have been just a few centuries, it dried into the desert we know, and rock paintings of swimmers and hippos were left stranded in the sand. Why it flipped so fast, we still can't fully explain. Mystery 2. And this one rewrites everything we thought we knew about civilization. In southern Turkey stand rings of massive carved stone pillars, built 11,500 years ago. That's 7,000 years before the pyramids, before farming, before writing, before the wheel. Hunter-gatherers raised pillars weighing tons, with nothing but stone tools. We always thought cities came first, then temples. This suggests the opposite. And then, for reasons no one understands, it appears they buried the whole thing. 3. A machine that shouldn't have existed. Not for another 1,400 years. In 1901, divers off a Greek island pulled a corroded lump of bronze from a 2,000-year-old shipwreck. Inside were more than 30 interlocking gears. It could predict eclipses and track the sun, moon, and planets decades in advance. Nothing this complex would appear again for 1,400 years. We don't know who built it, or how much knowledge like it we simply lost. 4. Whole civilizations, gone in a single lifetime. No one saw it coming. Around 1200 BC, almost every great civilization on Earth collapsed within a single lifetime. Egypt, the Hittites, Mycenaean Greece, connected, thriving, writing, then cities burned, trade died, and entire writing systems were forgotten. Egyptian records blame mysterious raiders, the sea peoples, who appear, destroy everything, and vanish. Drought, earthquakes, war. The first global world ended almost overnight. 5. Art you can only see from the sky, made 2,000 years before anyone could fly. Across the Peruvian desert stretch hundreds of giant figures, a hummingbird, a monkey, a spider, and lines running straight for miles. The Nazca made them 2,000 years ago by clearing dark stones to reveal pale ground, but they're so huge they're best seen from the air. So why make art you could never fully see yourself? Paths for rituals, messages to the sky, maps to water, we still don't fully know. 6. A book nobody on Earth can read, not one word, in 600 years of trying. This is a real medieval book, carbon dated to the early 1400s, written entirely in a script that doesn't exist anywhere else. Its pages are full of plants that don't exist and strange astronomical charts. Codebreakers who cracked wartime ciphers have all failed to read it. 100 years of study, and not one word has been definitively decoded. A lost language, an elaborate hoax, or a code we're not smart enough to break? 7. An object with no explanation anywhere, found in the hundreds, never once mentioned. Romans made hundreds of these, small, hollow, 12-sided bronze objects, each face with a different-sized hole and a knob at every corner. Over 100 have turned up across the empire, and in all of Roman writing, every letter, manual, and record, not one is ever mentioned. Measuring tool? Candle holder? Knitting aid? Religious object? After centuries of study, no one actually knows what it was for. 8. And these ones are still in a field, waiting. Thousands of them. On a plateau in Laos lie thousands of enormous stone jars, some taller than a person, carved over 2,000 years ago. They're spread across dozens of sites, each weighing several tons. Urns for the dead, vessels for rainwater, or storage for some lost ceremony. Excavations found human remains nearby, hinting at burial, but the carvers left no writing, no explanation. Thousands of jars waiting for an answer. 8 mysteries. 8 things the smartest people alive still can't explain. History isn't finished. Some of its biggest questions are wide open. Which one keeps you up at night? That's your drift point. Follow, and we'll keep digging.